This is Echophobia by Jacob Stringer. Before this video starts, this is an introduction to the key features that we talked about in this video. So the game overview, the research, the storyline, Unreal Engine versus Unity and other UE versions, the mechanics, the main echolocation mechanic, level design, enemy AI and navigation, playtesting feedback, future work, and the conclusion. This is the game overview. This is Echophobia, a solo-developed psychological thriller game. In Echophobia, the player must navigate through near-total darkness using a unique echolocation mechanic which pulses sound waves to illuminate the environment. The game explores innovative sound-based gameplay, creating an intense atmospheric experience where sound is not just ambience, it's your lifeline. This is my research and background work. Sound as a core gameplay mechanic. So sound isn't just used in the background of Echophobia, it's actually a key part of the gameplay itself. Studies show that music and effects can enhance immersion and help players connect emotionally. Games using sound functionally, not just aesthetically, offer a more intuitive and engaging experience. This supports Echophobia's use of echolocation as a central mechanic. (3D) audio and spatial awareness. 3D audio shapes how players perceive space. Research shows that ambient sounds enhance realism, while spatial audio boosts fear and emotional engagement. In Echophobia, accurate spatial cues help players navigate in heightened tension in a sightless environment, like for example the enemies. Unseen threats and psychological horror. Fear of the unseen is powerful, like in Bird Box, a movie thriller I've watched recently. So this removes sight, which heightens tension. Echophobia does the same, replacing the standard visuals you find within games. This amplifies fear and immerses players more in psychological horror. Sound input within games. So these two games I've played, In Silence and Phasmophobia, show how sound input can drive tension and gameplay. Players must use sound carefully, knowing it can attract danger. Echophobia follows this model, where every sound matters and survival depends on what you hear.
That's so stupid, I swear to God. This all should make noise, by the way. 100%. You should be fearful of doing anything, just as they were in A Quiet Place, you know? Hi.
Are you angry? Do you want us here? Shall we leave?
The storyline of Echophobia. So Echophobia's storyline puts players in the role of Jack, a soldier who lost almost all his vision after a devastating military accident. Set in a post-apocalyptic world, Jack must rely on echolocation, using sound to briefly reveal his surroundings. His ability is more than just a mechanic, it's central to the story itself. The world is filled with unseen threats, and every sound could save Jack, or lead him into further danger. It's a tense, atmospheric journey of survival, where exploration, suspense, and horror collide. Unreal Engine versus Unity. Before beginning the full development on Echophobia, I took time to weigh the options between using Unity and Unreal Engine. Both engines offer powerful tools and flexible workflows, but given the nature of the project, it was essential to choose the platform that aligned best with the game's technical and artistic needs. So with Unreal Engine 5, we got to weigh the pros and the cons. So in Unreal Engine 5, they have stunning visuals, so Nanite and Lumen deliver high fidelity graphics with minimal optimization. There's visual scripting, like blueprints, which offer powerful flexing scripting without deep coding. There's immersive audio, so advanced 3D spatial sound tools, which are really good for atmospheric gameplay. AAA quality, using top tier titles like Fortnite and Hellblade 2, great for cinematic experiences. There's robust tools, which includes advanced physics, animation, and meta-human support. And it's open source, so you can actually code in it as well if you want to. And the cons are hardware demands, so requires powerful systems, steep learning curve, it's more complex for beginners than Unity, and there's large file sizes, so projects can be quite big on the sizes. On the other hand, you have Unity. So the pros for Unity are it's flexible and lightweight, performs well across platforms including mobile and VR. It's quick prototyping, ideal for 2D and mid-sized 3D games due to fast iteration. It's got a wide asset store, access to a wide range of plugins and tools. It's got beginner-friendly scripting, uses C#, easier for most developers than C++. It's indie-friendly, so it's a popular choice for small teams thanks to its simplicity and UI. However, the cons are it's got weaker graphics, so it uses by default URP and HDRP, which improve visuals but lag behind Unreal's fidelity. It's got basic audio tools, so it lacks built-in support for advanced spatial audio, which is vital for Echophobia. Pipeline fragmentation, so there are frequent changes within URP and HDRP, which can cause compatibility headaches. There's business trust issues, so the pricing and licensing changes have led to developer distrust. So why is Unreal Engine 5 better? So Echophobia is a dark, immersive thriller where sound and atmosphere is key. UE5 is the ideal engine because it offers advanced 3D audio, which is crucial for echolocation and building tension. Lumen lighting adds realism to the sound-based visibility, which is a central part of the mechanic itself. Blueprint systems, which speeds up solo development without fully coding. AAA visuals, that's perfect for detailed horror-style environments. And cinematic tools, great for sort of storytelling and telling the main character Jack his intense story. In short, UE5 gives Echophobia the audio, visuals and tools it needs for a powerful, immersive experience. The mechanics. Here's the list of mechanics. So the core mechanics for the gameplay are the first person shooting, so mouse button 1 to shoot, mouse button 2 to aim down sights. You get the melee attack, which is used with V. You get grenades, stun grenades, frag grenades, which is used with Q and E. The movement system, so basic movement controls, so like forward, left, right, backwards, WSD, jump for spacebar, control to crouch. And there's a pickup system, which is where health and ammo can be picked up in the level to assist the player. This is the main echolocation mechanic in more detail. The echolocation mechanic. So Echophobia's core mechanic is echolocation, where players navigate darkness by emitting sound pulses that briefly reveal their surroundings. This creates a tense balance between risk and safety, immersing players in a unique, sound-driven experience. This is the echolocation mechanic broken down. So this is you, and you cannot see. You can make noise, for example, ah, which produces these sound waves, which help you see the enemy. You can now see the enemy, and therefore you can shoot him and kill the enemy. This is the level design. Level 1 introduces players to Echophobia in a simple linear environment. Enemies are placed along the path to ease players into combat and echolocation, helping them learn the core mechanics without feeling overwhelmed. This is the level 1 layout made in PowerPoint, which is a top-down view, which shows where the enemies are going to be placed, the health is going to be placed, and the ammunition is going to be placed, as well as doors. This is the white box level for level 1, where I've added textures and minimal clutter in the levels, as well as the enemy AI and navigation, which were used for testing for the player and the AI navigation itself. So in level 2, there's an increased challenge with more enemies and there's a split path, one direct and the other optional with the rewards like ammunition or health. It encourages risk-reward decisions while reinforcing combat and exploration. This is the top-down view of the level made in PowerPoint, and once again it shows you where the enemies will be placed, where the ammunition and health pickups will also be placed, as well as doors. This is the white box for level 2 with added textures to add realism when testing, for example the enemy AI again and player navigation. So level 3 is the toughest level yet, featuring more enemies and optional paths with extra resources again. Players must manage their utilities carefully though, because they face a stronger boss with higher health and damage, which tests all their skills they've learned throughout all the levels. This is the top-down view made in PowerPoint once again, which shows you all the key features, like the enemies, the main boss enemy, the pickups, like health ammunition, and the end of the level itself. This is the level 3 white boxing with the added textures and clutter. This is the enemy AI and navigation. So the enemy AI in Echophobia uses Unreal Engine's nav mesh for realistic movement. Enemies wander until the player is detected, then they pursue the target. Stats like health, speed and damage are adjustable. For example, the level 3 boss has higher health and higher damage, but moves slower. Enemies can be stunned, except for the boss at the level 3, and use buy angles and delays to keep combat fair and tense for the player. Playtesting feedback. So a user study involving 4 experienced adult gamers was conducted to evaluate Echophobia. Participants gave informed consent and completed a structured survey with both yes and no questions and open-ended questions. The study focused on player experience, emotional response and the effectiveness of core mechanics like echolocation. So these were the yes and no questions and the open-end questions used. These questions help give me an insight into what needed improvement and what worked well in the game itself. So the test was kept simple and accessible using a Microsoft Word document. Each play session lasted 15 to 25 minutes, followed by a 10-minute max survey covering gameplay elements such as sound, difficulty and immersion. The mix of quantitative and qualitative questions ensured balance and in-depth feedback. 75% of the participants felt the echolocation cooldown was too long, prompting its reduction from 5 to 4 seconds. Level 2's navigation was found confusing due to unclear signposting, and the importance of grenades and spatial audio was repeatedly emphasised. Enemy audio cues were praised for aiding navigation and tension. So going into more detail about the future work, future improvements include adding a co-op multiplayer mode, smarter enemy AI, and more varied environments. Accessibility features like audio cue subtitles and adjustable cooldowns would broaden its reach. Expanding narrative depth and replayability could turn Echophobia into a full-length game with richer gameplay and user experience. The conclusion. So overall, Echophobia delivered an immersive thriller game using echolocation as the core mechanic. Player feedback confirmed the sound-based navigation created real tension. Developing the game on my own helped me deepen my expertise in Unreal Engine, AI, and audio design. Iterative testing allowed me to refine gameplay balance as well. The project met its goals and showed the potential of sound-driven game mechanics as a whole.